Hello and welcome to Opening Arguments, the show that helps you make sense of law in the news, or did, back when the law made sense at all. I'm Thomas. That over there is real-life immigration attorney Matt Cameron. How you doing, Matt?
I'm haunted by the ghost of the law, Thomas, but I'm doing it. Getting through.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
And, a spooktacular sorts, right? This will come out, just before Halloween, a few days?
It should. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we should also tell you that the patrons will also be ghosts because we're recording this ahead of time. Lydia and I will be at QED in Manchester, and so no patron shout-outs this time. We have really enjoyed getting back to those, but we're recording way in advance, so we won't have the new patron names. Sorry about that, but next time. Also, of course, Lydia Smith.
I'm here too.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm doing well. I'm actually getting ready to celebrate my birthday. And yeah, by the time we get back from the trip, it'll be post my birthday. So I'm taking this moment to celebrate myself. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Go me. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Happy birthday, me.
Thanks for sharing with us.
That's why the patron shout outs aren't happening, is because this episode's all about me and shouting out my birthday.
So speaking of spooktacular, we are haunted by the ghosts of the worst takes ever. This is great. This is fantastic.
So bad.
One of these is something I saw on a bleat, on a skadeet, on a blue. What did we settle on that? Blue Sky.
Post.
An amazing.
Yeah, I don't like any of the other names. So
an amazing. I like Skeet. I think it's fine. An amazing story that did not age well. Just to give a preview before the break. Here, I'll give a preview. Politico story. Here's the headline. It was supposed to be Trump's administration in waiting, but Project 2025 was a mirage all along. Hold on, it gets better.
Crazy.
The inside story of how Project 2025 fell apart. That's from August 2nd of 2024, folks. So that is the spookiness. That is the Victorian child ghost equivalent of a take. That is really, I can't wait to dig into how wrong this stupid piece of shit was.
Russ Vogt is cackling now.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And we've got even better ghostly takes.
I got to tell you, I've been saving this one. This is a zombie we are going to dig up and reanimate for everybody. A Douthat's monster from 2015.
Yes.
Just going to strap him to the table and light him up and see what Ross Douthat thinks about fascism in 2015. It's quite a take.
I think it's Douthat, but whatever. I could be wrong.
I Douthat.
Lydia had an even better.
I said Douthat.
Lydia had Douthat, which I thought maybe it's that actually. That's
what I'm going to call him.
You fucking Douthat. I like that better. This one is fun. 2015. Wow, going way back.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to talk about. We'll take our first break, brought to you by our amazing patron. Well, I shouldn't say the break is brought to you. The show is brought to you by our amazing patrons at patreon.com/law, whose names we will read out next week.
Another time.
Spooky. Here we go. Spooktacular after this break. Okay, so we're going to talk about the ghost of the Project 2025. Do you remember Project 2025? That old thing? The dead thing that no longer exists, everybody? Just a memory?
Yeah.
I think one thing, just very quickly before we get going, is go to the Project 2025 tracker.
I literally was pulling that up right now.
Just how dead it actually is.
Yeah, how dead is it actually?
It might be dead in the sense that they achieved everything they wanted to achieve. They're like, we're folding up shop. We did it.
It's project2025.observer, everybody. Great website. Throw them a couple of bucks. They're doing a good job.
Buy them a coffee.
Yeah, let's see. It says 48% within. It says 48%. Well, I guess I can pull it up. I can show people what we're talking about. I've actually never looked at this one, but it's really cool.
Great. Yeah.
So, Project 2025, 48%, and we are, God, what are we, half a year in? No, a little more.
Look at that countdown until the end of term. I did not want to see that. I had not seen that before. That's like a new function, I think. Yeah, that's incredibly
depressing.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try to podcast through a
oh my God,
episode
1,200 days.
No, I decline.
No.
But the point is,
quit.
We are, okay, if the admin starts in January, we're 9 months-ish in, right?
Yeah.
Something a little more than 9 months. 48% accomplished.
Of their 900-page document.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you scroll down, it breaks it out by agency, which I think is even more telling, right? Because it's 48% across the entire project
100%.
2025. Exactly, because they got rid of USAID.
Holy
they killed
shit.
That was the goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
White House, 92%. Are they getting rid of the White House? Well,
I wish.
Part of it. Yeah.
Oh, show more agencies. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
What haven't they done? Let's see. The FDA? I thought they had messed with, one objective? Reverse FDA approval of mifepristone. Oh, that's all they got? Oh,
yeah.
Whoops. I can't hit the back button. This is really useful, though.
It's a little selective, but it's a very good set of metrics. It's not perfect, but it's a great tracker. And I really want to be sure to set this article up before we launch into it, because the article, of course, is about a visit to the Heritage Foundation to see that Project 2025 is actually a ghost. It's a mirage. It's not happening. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here, folks. Let's just see.
I love this thing. Oops. I love, and to show you the title that I read already, if I didn't, I love not only like the levels of wrong. It's not just that like, oh, this thing didn't happen. It's also the inside scoop of how it didn't happen, which I just love, which just makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
In August.
Oh, yeah. In August, before there was even an election.
The inside scoop of how fucking credulous we are.
This is August 2024. Yeah. So don't worry about voting for Trump. Project 2025 is not even real.
Yep. It was probably 5 minutes after Trump was like, oh, no, never heard of her.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, well, he said never heard of her. So it's fine.
So
and this is a long form piece. I just want to point out, we can't read the whole thing. So we'll read bits of it, but we'll link to it. Everybody can enjoy the whole thing for themselves.
All right. You want me to start at the beginning, Matt?
You're going to have to tell us what we're reading, though.
I will.
All right. On a Thursday morning in early June, I hopped off a train at Washington's Union Station and walked a few blocks east to get a glimpse.
I already just love it. I just when you're dealing with such a false piece of shit, there I was.
Yeah.
On early June, trying to tell the story.
Like an Ernest Hemingway.
Like died. a Project 2025, a term you might not even recognize anymore. So good.
To get a glimpse into the headquarters of one of the most secretive and most hyped organizations in America.
Wait, sorry. Secretive and most hyped. So it's hyped, but secret.
But no one knows anything about it. Okay. Yeah, I think it works.
I guess, maybe like in a Willy Wonka sense. Like,
yeah.
Like everybody knows who Willy Wonka is, but nobody knows what's going on. Okay,
but there's only a certain number of golden tickets.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Project 2025 tucked away inside the main offices of the Heritage Foundation on Capitol Hill. My visit came at an opportune moment. For months, journalists and liberal watchdog groups had been poring over Project 2025's 900-page policy book titled Mandate for Leadership, The Conservative Promise, which purports to be a comprehensive policy guide for the next Republican administration, including recommendations to restrict access to medical abortion, remove civil service protections for some federal workers, and banning pornography.
Oh, my God.
If you've heard a Democrat talking apocalyptically about Project 2025 in the past few months, this document is probably what they have in mind.
It's literally what they have in mind, yes.
The tone of this. If you've heard some asshole lying about the Project 2025, they're talking about this. Whoever this is should never be read again. We'll get
Ian
to it.
Ward, yeah. I was there to spend 2 days shadowing the project's leadership, focusing on the lesser-known aspects of the project's 4-part plan. In addition to the policy book, Project 2025 was also building a conservative LinkedIn, a database of fully vetted candidates who could fill jobs across future Republican administrations, and an online training academy to give job seekers the ideological and practical chops to make the entire federal bureaucracy match Trump's MAGA ambitions. Project 2025's final part, known as Pillar 4, involves the creation of an 180-day playbook for implementing the policy agenda, but the playbook would be kept confidential.
All right. So let's skip ahead to the elevator doors.
Oh, okay.
The elevator doors.
Yeah.
It's like one paragraph ahead.
We got bigger jumps. Yeah.
That's okay. The elevator doors opened onto a narrow hallway, which I walked down expecting to be greeted by a buzz of activity.
But I wasn't, because it's dead and this didn't happen. And there's no more Project 2025.
Yeah, and they're just paying rent on an empty building.
I love this. We should do more of this. We should do more of the false bullshit from time past.
Historical bad takes.
Yeah, it's not just like it's different to read something now where they're like, well, I don't think this is going to happen, or you're making a big deal. It's the absolute gall of just, not only is this wrong, but I'm writing a whole thing from a false premise.
Yeah.
Where they're doing all their linguistic flourishes around their false premise.
Yeah.
Well, I expected to be greeted by a buzz of activity, but it was just a couple fucking flies or whatever. It's just like all this stuff when you're like, oh yeah, you mean the thing that definitely never was dead and is half done in 9 months?
Yeah.
That thing, the empty cubicles.
he's coming 2 days that were planned. Like they know he was coming, right? So he's seeing exactly what they want him to see. We have to make sure to stress that.
Great point. Yeah. Instead, I entered a silent, low-ceilinged room filled by 4 empty cubicles.
Oh, okay. Well, nothing to worry about.
A coffee machine and an empty desk covered in cardboard boxes and stray copies of the policy book. A half-eaten box of granola bars and a jar of candy on a nearby windowsill.
The fucking bullshit writing journalism image of it, where it's just like trying to find every linguistic way to emphasize that nothing's happening here. Oh, a tumbleweed blew through.
Yeah. Very like romantic style of writing. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Making sure we can all see it with him.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted you. Finish that sentence. Oh my God, it gets better.
And a jar of candy on a nearby windowsill were the only signs that human beings occasionally occupied the space.
Oh boy. Why don't you go write this same thing about USAID?
Yeah.
Why don't you go write this same thing about the agency, one of many that this fucking thing you said doesn't exist and won't exist, ruined and gutted and got rid of. Why don't you go ahead and check out their granola bars? Check out their candy. Oh, are there any signs of fucking human life in those buildings, you asshole? God.
Keenan gestured toward 2 adjacent offices belonging to 2 of the project's 7 full-time staffers. This, I wondered, is it?
It doesn't take that many staffers. First of all, they already wrote the book, so the book was a big part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need that many people. It's still the Heritage Foundation. They've got plenty of other employees, but like 7 full-time staffers is a lot for something like this to help usher in the next conservative agenda, like to do the other stuff they're talking about, the next phases. But again, they prominently mentioned throughout this piece that the book is everywhere. It's all over the thing because it's already been published. Okay.
You might as well go to like an arsonist's house and be like, just one of you? One arsonist? You're going to burn down that building? No way. That's a whole building. You're just one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that hard, to your point, Matt, to ruin stuff.
Well, especially even the book that they put together, the 900 pages, it was not people employed by Project 2025. They're conservative voices that have other day jobs. They're just typing up something and sending it via email. They're not going to physically be there ever. They're not going to be eating that granola bar.
This is probably what Politico looks like. This is your average journalistic outlet now, is like this mothballed.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Am I continuing on?
Yeah, for the rest of the setup, yeah.
All right. Over the course of my visit, I came to see that the emptiness of the Project 2025 offices at Heritage headquarters was a good metaphor for the project.
I didn't pick up that you were doing that. Wow. Mind blown. I didn't pick up on your fucking metaphor.
On both the left and the right, Project 2025 had been portrayed as a vast and well-orchestrated operation, either to rationalize and systematize Trumpism, according to some conservatives, or to undermine democracy and implement an ultra-disciplined reactionary regime, according to some liberals.
Well, okay, first off, I was going to say the liberal version's right, but actually those are both right.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, oh, look at how they've been portraying it. Oh, those are both what they are, though. Those are both accurate portrayals.
Yeah.
It is both to rationalize and systematize Trump and Trumpism.
Yep.
And it undermined democracy and implemented. This is amazing. I can't believe this person didn't try to hire a company to scrub this from the internet.
And I don't even think that liberals would disagree that Project 2025 was set up to rationalize and systematize Trumpism. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. According to some conservatives, that's unnecessary there. But conservatives, I will say, would probably disagree that Project 2025 is intent to undermine democracy, I think.
Did we really portray it as vast, per se? Or was it just like, no, it's important. And I mean, we make the point all the time that it is like 4 people who take over our whole government. Like, it's not that many people.
Well, we specifically called out Russ Vogt. We specifically said, this guy is the guy behind Project 2025. Let's talk about him. And that was not like, this long series of, let me talk about, the hundreds of people that have come together to create this monster. It was, let me talk about this one guy. That's a big freaking problem.
Yep.
Yep. Never don't believe that one person can't change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Steve Bannon talks about being a Leninist, right? That he admires the fact that like the very small group of Bolsheviks took over the Russian government. He thinks that's great. That's all it takes. Yeah, let's get another paragraph here just to
read this next one. This is good.
Instead, what I discovered during my visit and in my conversations with conservatives involved in the project was a shoestring operation struggling with internal disagreements, political miscalculation, and questionable leadership. Project 2025 had set out to turn Trumpism into a well-oiled machine. Instead, it had created an engine of the same sort of political disorder that defined the first Trump White House.
So many things wrong with this.
Or what if, bear with me, what if they would want to appear to be not a very big deal? What if they would want, because they instantly saw how unpopular it was when people tried to call attention to it, they're turtling up, they're fucking playing possum and trying to act like this isn't anything, and you, a completely credulous fucking idiot, fell for it. Or you're part of it, one or the other. I don't know.
As a student of history, can I just say internal disagreements, political miscalculation, and questionable leadership define the Third Reich, among other places.
Every single administration of everything.
All these people have huge egos. Come on.
Yeah, I would say that's the Democratic Party, too.
Yeah.
Sure. It's all of them.
But especially, historically, right-wing extremist fascist governments have a lot of trouble holding together because they always have these big personalities. And of course,
idiots.
right now, the current government
the fascist
is like
mindset breeds idiots. And so they bumble through and do ridiculous things and kill everybody. And it's ridiculous as they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And also the idea of using a synecdoche of narrowing down Project 2025 is an exemplar of what the White House is going to be or what the Trump administration is going to be like. It's just a bunch of hacks in a room in the Heritage Foundation. This is not, and they've already done the book. So anyway, so you can skip ahead because, he's just going to do a bunch of summary. Honestly, this is pretty much the meat of what there is in this very, very long piece. This whole setup is pretty much it. He talks to several different people. He talks to Paul Dans, who ends up resigning. And, he's really emphasizing the way that they don't get along, that they're arguing about things, that they hate each other, again, typical fascist kind of stuff. Probably skip ahead to pretty much the end because we're going to get onto the next piece here. But
I like this sentence. But in the end, it may have been Heritage's self-generated hype, which at times exaggerated Project 2025's scope and overlooked internal fissures that led to its sidelining.
Sidelining.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can read the whole thing if they really want to, but it is just a very lengthy, this is access journalism, right? I mean, they saw what he was supposed to see. He saw that. And he was taken through, again, and just completely missing the point. Like so many of our favorite pieces on this program, missing the entire point of what he's talking about, of why it exists and whether it's intentional or not. I don't even care.
So do we have a paragraph?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Title.
Wrap it up here at the end.
Really scroll down.
Yeah, it's very long.
It's a long form.
We definitely need to skip through a lot of it, but
almost all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. So if you go down to meanwhile in the atrium, that's almost at the end. We could just read the last little vignette. He's attending an event.
Wow, this is
yeah.
Imagine dedicating this much fucking verbiage to being so wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very repetitive.
It's one thing if you had a text or if you had a tweet, where you're like, I think this thing's shit. It's like, okay. Right, no, this person wrote more words than I've ever written in my life on this one wrong thing.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, in the atrium outside the auditorium, staff were laying out a buffet spread of hamburger sliders and tater tots and stocking a bar with White Claws and beer. It was time to do what Washington's conservative movement does best, host a cocktail party.
I'm sure they have the best parties, no doubt.
Yeah, so fun. For a moment, the project's power as the, quote, convener for the conservative movement was on full display. The meeting's attendees started trickling out of the auditorium, and a steady stream of outside guests made their way into the atrium and toward the buffet. Pretty soon, the atrium was packed, and there was talk of migrating to the roof deck. The room buzzed with the energy of a group of people who were confident that they were in the right place at the right time.
Correctly, yes.
And they may not have been wrong. Many of the people in the room could find themselves inside a second Trump White House. The policy book they helped write could become a blueprint for a revamped conservative agenda. The brouhaha between Trump and Project 2025 could prove to be a passing storm or an elaborate political charade.
No.
Or, like the project itself, maybe it was all a bit of a mirage. I schmoozed for a bit, but it was too loud to interview anyone, so I grabbed my stuff and headed for the exit. Man, it's a zoo in there, said a woman in the elevator. Well, what do you expect, said a younger guy next to her. The vast right-wing conspiracy isn't going to run itself.
Literally. Yes,
Oh,
it's
boy.
not.
How would you hear that and then
man.
think like, oh, that's a joke? I don't understand.
And he spends all this time in these empty offices, and then he
Yeah.
sees all these people getting together and networking
Yeah.
and doing what
Which
Heritage
is it?
does.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
zoo or is it empty?
Right.
One or the other.
What have we learned?
Man.
What have we learned?
Boy, wow. That's very bad. That's the
That's a
most
lot of words.
wrong
It's
I've seen
really
anyone
bad.
be in a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Are people throwing this in his face? Did you see that on Blue Sky? Is anyone tagging him?
Does this person
Ian
have
Ward.
a job still?
Yeah. He's like the guy that followed around JD Vance and got like exclusive access to report on him for Politico. That's kind of his claim to fame.
He's doing his job.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is he
That's
not
what-
fired?
I don't know. He lives in Brooklyn. I don't know. Maybe we send a friend of the show,
He's still
Liz,
writing
to go
stuff, I
track
guess.
him down.
Did he write? I'm looking at his stuff. Like,
Yeah, he still works there.
He didn't have to do like a mea culpa or like, oh boy.
There's
I
nothing in
don't
the
see
article
anything.
even. Yeah.
Well, what? What do you mean?
I mean, there's no like editor's note or anything like
I
that.
see
Like
what you're
they're
saying,
just leaving this piece as is.
Yeah. There's nothing like, hey,
Whoops.
this is all the opposite of
Whoops.
reality. Just
Yeah.
FYI. Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying how James Comey became a MAGA villain. White child. I'm just looking at his other
Yeah,
stuff.
he publishes like recently.
Jeez, how could you get something that wrong and still have your job? You know, if a lot of the listeners and viewers completely fuck up their job to this degree,
Mhm.
they might expect some consequences, maybe even being fired. But not Politico fucking journalists. Okay.
Perfect
I think
setup
we're
for the
gonna-
next piece,
yeah,
Thomas.
yeah.
All
Perfect
right,
setup.
well,
Someone else who got to keep their job.
I can't wait to defend the honor of one Ross Douthat. Because nothing compares to what we just read. We'll take a break. And once again, a thank you and a nod to our patrons. Support the show, patreon.com/law. Enable this to happen. Get some extra stuff, by the way. Some fun, lot awful movies. We take on movies and TV shows that involve the law and explain why they're really, bad
The
often.
most recent one is so bad.
Can't wait to get
So
that
bad.
one out.
Please
so
reward
thanks
our
to
suffering.
supporters. Yeah. Because right now it's just suffering for no clear reason. So it'd be nice. All right. Okay, let's get to Ross Douthat.
Yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite things.
Okay, here we go. Should I
has ever been
cut to
published.
headline? Opinion:
Amazing.
Is Donald Trump a fascist?
Dateline, December 3rd.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
See, already that is so much more forgivable. So much more forgivable. I'm going to defend the Douthat honor. Now we're going to go through this, but I'll go ahead and pin. I haven't read this yet. I'll go ahead and pin I'll put myself out there, cards on the table. This is so much. Everybody underestimated Trump. Everybody was wrong about Trump. The people who say they weren't wrong are lying. You know, like nobody thought he would win. No, This is 2015. Yeah. Like there's plenty of understandable reason to be wrong about Donald fucking Trump in 2015. Now, but August 2024, when you write an article about Project 2025, that nothing can compete with that. But okay, here we go. I've laid my cards on the table. Let's see.
If it were me writing this, I would be going back through all of my stuff and be like, wow, I really got that wrong. Can we please add something to the online version, New York Times?
Well, nobody's going to come across this anymore.
I don't care. I like just for myself. I'm like, I want to recognize that I got this so wrong. Okay. The Republican establishment, that lumbering beast, still can't decide on how and whether and when to go after Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
But last week, a few Republican insiders floated an accusation that you usually hear liberals sling against the right, that the real estate magnate turned populist is actually a fascist.
10 years ago, Republicans were saying this.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of them tried. It was really cowardly that they... Oh, boy. Anyway, okay, go on. What a history, what a time capsule.
The hook for this charge was Trump's illiberal musings about Muslims and databases and his lies, or, to be charitable, false memories, about cheering throngs of Muslim Americans after September 11th. But the charge can be easily fleshed out with more examples. Writing for Slate last week, Jamel Bouie argued that Trumpism, however ideologically, how do you say that word? Inchoate. Thank you. Manifests at, here I am calling him Douthat, so I need to check.
Inchoate Douthat.
manifests at least 7 of the hallmarks of fascism identified by the Italian polymath Umberto Eco. They
Just want to point out, this piece is completely right on, the Jamil Bowie piece. We'll also link to that.
I was going to say, well,
that's seriously
incredible.
how I presented it to Thomas. I was like, this is a piece about how Douthat is so wrong and Jamil Bowie is so right.
And it's funny that, this was before Bowie, of course, was then hired later
by the New York Times,
in the same position, essentially, that Douthat is in. He occupies the same job. Yeah, Bowie's one of the best that there is. Any commentary of anything, he's been consistently great.
Yep.
So this makes it even sweeter.
They include a cult of action, a celebration of aggressive masculinity, like Department of War, an intolerance of criticism, a fear of difference and outsiders, a pitch to the frustrations of the lower middle class, an intense nationalism and resentment at national humiliation, and a popular elitism that promises every citizen that they're part of, quote, the best people of the world.
Not every citizen, but This is one of my favorite movies, Groundhog Day. I just want to get the scene where what's her name is describing kind of who she wants in a man.
Andie MacDowell?
Andie MacDowell, and then what's his name?
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray is like, me
yeah.
You need to do this with Trump. A cult of action, me. A celebration of aggressive masculinity, me. Intolerance of criticism, me again. Me also. Yeah, it's pretty much. That's Trump.
Olivia, our social media person, if you're hearing this, can you please cut that together?
Actually,
put it together.
And then the end is like, I'm very close on this one. Very, very close.
Does this sound like Trump? Well, yes, it rather does. His bravado and performative machismo, complete with mockery of the weak, unattractive, and disabled, his obsession with how we get beat by other nations and need to start beating them instead, his surprisingly deft exploitation of blue-collar economic anxieties, his dark references to Mexican rapists and other immigrant threats, and as of this week, his promise to not only bomb and torture our foreign enemies into submission, but to round up their families as well. No, it isn't hard to match Echo's list.
Sorry, did we accidentally click on the Bowie piece? Are we on?
How is he going to tear this apart then?
Yeah, if a time traveler go back and tell Douthat, hey, if you stopped here and changed the title, you're good.
Yeah.
Wow, it's not hard to match pretty much everything on this list of what this definitional list of what a fascist is. It's not hard to match Eco's list to it. Okay. Oh, and he's not even at the butt yet. Are we going to go further?
Oh, okay.
This is wait till we get to the butt. 6 months in. 6 months into the Trump campaign. If you knew anything about fascism, you could see it.
Right. Yeah. One could even go a little further. A great deal has been written on the question of why America didn't produce an enduring socialist or communist mass movement in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. But the absence of a real American fascism, as opposed to the fascism that liberals see lurking in every Republican president,
for the podcast listeners.
Yes, thank you, is equally striking. And part of the explanation has to be that the American conservative tradition has always included important elements: a libertarian skepticism of state power, a stress on localism and states' rights, a religious and particularly Protestant emphasis on the conscience of an individual over the power of the collective that inoculated our politics against fascism's appeal.
Yeah,
well, you've just described Donald Trump. There it is. That's Trump right there in a nutshell, isn't it?
That's so great.
Yeah.
There's a reason why conservatism is inoculated against fascism. No, fascism always comes from conservatism. Even if you wanted to claim that Trump wasn't fascist, or that Republicans today or in 2015, even if you wanted to claim that they weren't fascist, and you'd be right about a lot of them back then, it's not talking about how American conservatism has this protection, this built-in protection, inoculation against fascism is so silly.
Yeah.
It's as opposed to what it only ever comes from the right. It's silly.
And to make that point even more clear, when you go back to the 7 hallmarks of fascism in his article, it can only come a celebration of aggressive masculinity. That's not coming from the left. No. Please. Let's see. A fear of difference and outsiders. Okay, that's not coming from the left. All right.
Not broadly speaking. Yeah. It's so funny. It is fascist stuff. Conservatism and republicanism is just all the elements of fascist, but only 60%.
But Trump, because he isn't really an ideological conservative, lacks that inoculation.
No, I thought that was the but. Okay, but now we're still okay. We're still not at the but. This is Douthat. You're writing so much that you could have just cut it off. And you're good.
And we wouldn't be making fun of you.
Yeah.
And while he has a number of obvious similarities to past right populist candidates, from Pat Buchanan to Ross Perot to the Alabama governor George Wallace, he tends to differ from them in precisely the places where fascist temptations can creep in.
It's really funny to see him keep going closer and closer to like, I think what you're saying is he's a fascist, right? So far, you built a great case for why he's a fascist.
And the only way that you can confront that case is by completely misunderstanding or pretending to misunderstand all the people you just mentioned. So how about we do that now?
All right.
Okay. I'm still waiting for the but. Let's see. I know he's going to go more into, we're not at the but yet.
Buchanan, for instance, was a nationalist, but also a deeply religious man whose campaigns were fueled as much by pro-life conviction as by populism. Not so Trump. He plainly regards his semi-professed Christianity purely instrumentally and has little time for the religious rights causes.
Okay.
But Pat Buchanan, I just have to mention very quickly, Pat Buchanan was an extreme racist, like literally wrote a book about suicide of the superpower with a chapter called The End of White America, talked all the time about the end of white America, like very openly anti-immigrant, anti-everything.
Hold on.
Revered by young conservatives these days,
I'm going to defend Douthat. What Douthat is doing rhetorically here is trying to point out the differences between Buchanan and Trump. So I think he's actually pricing in that Buchanan and Trump are the same on the things you mentioned.
Oh, on racism.
So he says nationalist, but
no, I know. I'm saying he's.
That's what you're saying.
I might be wrong, but just my disagreement right now would be he's not listing everything Buchanan is. He's listing the things where he disagrees, and maybe we can accept that it would be implied that he matches on the other stuff. But you might be right that it's a very it might be a very intentional, leaving out of some crucial information. But you could also read it as he is because he did say before, he is the same as these people. Where did he say it? He said he is. Where are we?
It's in the But Trump, I think, article.
Yeah. He is. Let's. What did he say?
Yeah.
Similarities. So he's obvious similarities, but then he's going to highlight the differences, which is not as religious as Buchanan. But point taken. I think also from Douthat's perspective, he probably doesn't see the racism as much as we would like him to.
He's kind of suggesting that if you like Buchanan, you wouldn't like Trump, or the other way around, right? But these are the same people, the same crowd. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mainly, maybe. Let's see. Okay, let's see where he's going with.
Perot was an economic nationalist, but also an obsessive deficit hawk and budget balancer who won a lot of libertarian votes with his promise of a green eye shade approach to government. Not so Trump. He clearly doesn't care a whit for limited government or libertarianism, and he's delighted with a hyperactive state so long as it's working hand in glove with corporate interests.
Hey, you know what Ross Perot was a Republican. He wasn't a Republican until 2000. Right. So I think that's right.
Well, yeah, I think he's one of the highest vote getting third party candidates ever. Right.
Sure.
Or maybe except for that weird 1912 election or something.
Bull Moose.
Was he did he introduce Perot as a what? Oh, populist.
Right.
So
populist.
He wasn't saying Ross Perot was a fascist per se, but was right populist. Okay, interesting. Yeah. But I love that he doesn't care. I'm going to defend Douthat again. I mean, I think this was kind of true. He doesn't care a whit for limited government. I think that was kind of true. Doesn't care about libertarianism. And he's delighted with a hyperactive state so long as it's working hand in glove with corporate interests. Not true of Trump 2.0, 100%. Because he's killed the entire state.
But if you know the first goddamn thing about fascism, a hyperactive state working in hand in glove with corporate interests is a description of fascism. That's really central. Yeah. He's either pretending not to understand what fascism is, or he really hasn't read history.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. So is he still saying this is different than Perot? So he's saying this is a difference between him and Perot. Perot did want to gut all the government. Trump doesn't. Right. So, I guess, okay, so to take on your point, what is this in service of? Because if he's saying Trump is not a fascist, and then he's comparing him to Ross Perot, do you think Ross Perot, I don't really think Ross Perot is a fascist.
No.
I wouldn't have called him a fascist. So I guess then I'm not sure what's the point of this part. Maybe I'm losing sight of it.
I think it's the element of populism, I guess. Okay. And like when you're on the right and populism, it's often very easy to say, oh, fascist, I guess.
Yeah, now I think now I might be disagreeing with Matt because I think we're still on the section rhetorically where Douthat is saying and he's not like these people, and the dissimilarities are in more fascist ways. So it might be that he's saying this dissimilarity with Perot, which is that he's fine with hyperactive government, hyperactive state, is actually a more fascist thing.
Well, I think he's saying people won't go for it. But yeah, maybe he is saying that, right? But he's at the end of the day, he's saying that...
He's not talking about people. He's just talking about comparing Trump to each of these populists. And I think he's saying, here's the difference between Trump and Perot. Trump is... But we're still in the section where what did he lead off with? He led off with one could even go a little further. So I think right now, he's still before the but. We're still on this is more reason
we will get
why you could view Trump as fascist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I kind of think he's actually agreeing with you, Matt. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving too much credit. I may be defending Douthat too much. Sorry.
Wallace was a noxious segregationist, but his racism was bound up in a local and regional chauvinism, a skepticism of centralized power and far-off Washington elites.
No,
not so Trump.
It was racism. He just didn't like black people. Like, that's not...
Yeah, no, that's true. What does he mean bound up exactly? Because it is true that he was only
racist
Washington
because
elites. Oh yeah, okay. If that's the claim. That's
but his racism,
yeah, sure. Sorry, yeah.
Not so Trump. When he sounds an anti-Washington note, the argument isn't that local governments can do things better or that local folkways need respect. It's that he can do things better. That centralization is fine and dandy so long as you have the right Deuce or Donald at the top.
Yeah, would that be Duce?
Douche.
So on this one, I think he's right about the Trump parts he's writing, but wrong about the Wallace parts. I think Matt points out. So it's like I don't know how important this is, but it's funny to be like, well, this guy's racism was, it was more about fucking local chauvinism, whereas Donald Trump's just a racist and he thinks he can do everything better, which that part's right. I think he does nail
also,
Donald.
Yeah, maybe like a king, maybe like
close.
A king.
Yeah, right. Just take that when he sounds an anti-Washington note, the argument, blah 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 blah, that he can do things better. That sounds really fascist. Where's the but? Yeah. Where's the but?
It's coming. It's coming.
We're coming. Okay.
Also, I just have to point out, calling local folkways, calling segregated schools local folkways, just, the way we do things around here.
Yeah.
Okay. Folkways. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know what word you... Folkways.
Whether or not... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
Fancy intellectual word.
Yeah, go ahead. Whether or not we want to call Trump a fascist outright, then it seems fair to say that he's closer to the proto-fascist zone on the political spectrum than either the average American conservative or his recent predecessors in right-wing populism.
See? Okay, so end of article. If the title was... Well, I guess... Okay, hold on. The title is Trump a fascist? So actually the title could still work if you end here. So the answer is, yeah. Probably. Then that'd be like, wow, not bad, Douthat. You kind of called it in 2015. Not bad.
Yeah. You and Jamel Bowie are on the same side here.
Now,
sadly, not the end.
Yeah. Oh no, there's more. Here we go.
So, is it time for Trump watchers to dust off their copies of "It Can't Happen Here" and "The Plot Against America"? Should Trump's rivals imitate the fascism whispers in their party and start attacking Trump as a bouffant-haired Hitler at the next Republican debate?
Yes,
I would say no. For 3 reasons. First, Trump may indeed be a little fascistic.
Little fascism.
But what's a little fascism between friends?
We got a little fascism.
But that sinister resemblance is just one part of his reality television meets WWE heel-turn campaign style. He isn't actually building a fascist mass movement. He hasn't won a primary yet, or rallying a movement of far-right intellectuals, Ann Coulter notwithstanding. His suggestion that a Black Lives Matter protester at one of his rallies might have deserved to be roughed up was pretty ugly, but still several degrees of ugly away from the actual fascist move, which would require organizing a paramilitary force to take to the streets to brawl with the decadent supporters of our rotten legislative government.
Okay.
Where does he think?
My God.
It may be bad to say, hey, we should kick that guy's ass, but it's so many steps away from kicking that guy's ass.
Well, and
that's one step max.
He hadn't won a primary yet. Douthat acknowledges he has no power. So, okay, he's a little fascisty kind of right now, but he doesn't have any power to actually be fascist. So I'm going to call him not a fascist.
To fucking Mussolini? And be like, well, he's not a fascist because he hasn't won yet. Like as Mussolini was rising to power. No, he's not a fascist. He hasn't won.
He's just got some rowdy people showing up at rallies. It's not apparent
What's
military.
the name of his party? Is it the fascist party? Doesn't matter. He hasn't won anything yet.
I mean, where does he think the SS came from? Like the brown shirts and the black shirts. Like this is like it takes time. And these are the seeds. This is proto-fascism. Yeah.
Second, precisely because Trump doesn't have many of the core commitments that have tended to inoculate conservatives against fascism, it's still quite likely that the Republican Party is inoculated against him.
Oh, poor Douthat. I don't think we can dunk that hard on this, honestly. This is not that bad for 2015. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is not that bad. But I'm going to also pivot. I think Douthat is more wrong now than he was back then. I think Douthat would defend Trump probably more now than in this article. I think this
he should know better now. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Like back then, like I'll be honest, I said a lot of this back then. I said I don't think the Republican Party is going to nominate him. I didn't think he was going to win that nomination. I think a lot of people, look, I don't know, I won't speak for anyone here, but I think if a lot of people went back actually, because not everybody like me has a written or online record of what they said and all their opinions at the time. If you were to go back and look at what you were saying in 2015, I think you would be surprised. You'd be surprised. Here's what I'll say. 99% of people somehow claimed that they knew everything and he was going to win and all that. And they were secret. And then you look back and weirdly, no one did. So I guess none of them were saying it publicly. Some people may have predicted it. Sure. I'm not saying nobody predicted it, but a whole lot of people didn't, and they don't admit it.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit it. I thought he was going to lose the primary. When he won the primary, I thought he was going to lose the general.
Yeah.
I'm proud to have thought that. And he barely won. He lost the popular vote by a lot. So this like stuff like this, where it's like, it's still quite likely that the Republican Party is inoculated against him. Hey man, honestly, I'm glad Douthat thought that. Like I'm good for him. Like people thought better of Americans back then. People thought better of Republicans. I thought better of Republicans back then. I thought Republicans were a little better than they were, and I was wrong.
So I agree with all that. And I'm not going to say that I saw all this coming. I did start reading books about fascism around July of 2015, and I've read about a dozen since then. I've read at least one by then. But I will say on June 15th, 2015, when he comes down the elevator and he starts out his campaign talking about Mexicans, I did have this feeling of people really like this. This is going to work for somebody, even if it's not this guy. And I just think I'm with you though. I mean, I know it's very easy 10 years later.
I didn't know you then, and I'm not directing this at you, Matt, but I think you might be the exception there. Yeah. I think I don't take my words as reflective of you. I know so many people who comment that they knew it and they didn't. Like, it's people do that with everything. It's a natural human thing. Like
I didn't think he was going to win the primary. I really didn't. Yeah. I'll tell you that. But I did think that something like it would. Because I could see the way that people were responding to it, and especially just as somebody who watches immigration issues and seeing how effective that was, I knew that if it didn't work that cycle, it was going to work the next cycle.
Like the rhetoric, the talking points, and all that kind of stuff.
Just coming out in ways that Republicans hadn't, and just being racist in that open way.
Yeah, I continually am surprised by it. Not as much anymore, but back then I was very surprised by that. I was very surprised by how much shittier Republicans were than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His lack of any real religious faith, his unlibertarian style and record, his clear disdain for the ideas that motivate many of the most engaged Republicans, these qualities haven't prevented him from consolidating a quarter of the Republican electorate, but they should make it awfully difficult for him to get to 40 or 50%.
Shouldn't they? They should.
Yeah. And here's another point in Douthat's favor. A lot of this was the stupid way they had set up the primaries with the winner take all. So maybe Douthat didn't anticipate the fact that it actually didn't take getting to 50% really.
He didn't need to.
Yeah. He once he was winning pluralities, and that was in winner take all primaries, boosting him.
Yeah.
It got to the point, well, actually he only needed I forget the actual numbers, but early on he only needed 25, 30, 35% to be winning every electoral, whatever. What am I thinking? Every what do they call them in the primaries?
College.
Well, it's in the primaries, right? It's a delegate, every delegate for the primary. So and once a candidate gets momentum like that, then it naturally is going to, it perpetuates, and people don't want to back losers, and they want,
so compounding.
So a lot of this is understandable. I think there's some stuff that's all right. you're a douchebag and you're getting it wrong. But like a lot of why this is wrong, I'm just defending Douthat over the Politico one, which is fucking insane. Like it is so bad to have gotten that wrong, to spill. I love how we read it for however many minutes we read it, and we read 4% of it.
Oh, I know. It's the tiniest
10,000 million words.
Yeah.
So sorry, keep going.
And a somewhat fascist-looking candidate who tops out where Trump's poll numbers are currently hovering is not something to panic over yet.
Hey, he said yet.
Finally.
But the fact that he's doing that well. Yeah, good.
Oh, I know.
He said, don't panic yet. I agree with that take at that time.
Finally, freaking out over Trump the fascist is a good way for the political class to ignore the legitimate reasons he's gotten this far. The deep disaffection with the Republican Party's economic policies among working class conservatives, the reasonable skepticism about the bipartisan consensus favoring ever more mass, low-skilled immigration, the accurate sense that the American elite has misgoverned the country at home and abroad.
So, translation, freaking out over Trump the fascist is a good way for the political class to ignore that Republicans are actually fascists. It's like, well, no, that's still part of it. Like, you're right in the sense that like people may have been ignoring, as Matt I think was putting his finger on earlier than certainly I did, that there's just a whole lot of fascists in the Republican Party. But that's still part of he's a fascist. That's not two different things. You know what I mean? Like, and I love it. His naive fucking, Republican, privileged Republican, overeducated, hyper-educated Republican view is like, well, he doesn't realize that the real Republicans, that was the best. Where was it? It was, there was one, many of the most engaged, I love this. His lack of any real religious faith, his unlibertarian style and record, his clear disdain for the ideas that motivate many of the most engaged Republicans. That's just Douthat not understanding, as many of us didn't, the Republican Party.
Yeah.
He was wrong. Yeah, the actual Republican Party was what Matt was putting his finger on, was a bunch of rabid racists who really liked that someone was yelling about Mexicans and stuff and was sex. And like it turned out, and it's sort of a charming way to be completely naive and wrong, but it's still naive and wrong.
If Republicans don't want Trump the phenomenon to turn into an actual movement, if they don't want the intimations of fascism and his appeal to cohere into something programmatically dangerous, then tarring his supporters with the brush of Mussolini and Der Führer right now seems like a short-sighted step, a way to repress the problem rather than dealing with it, to dismiss discontents and have them. Thank you. My brain is just
it's hard when you're reading
going
stuff
crazy
live for people.
To dismiss discontents and have them return stronger and deadlier further down the road. The best way to stop a proto-fascist in the long run is not to scream Hitler on a crowded debate stage. It's to make sure that he never has a point.
Shut up.
No, the best way is to keep him off the debate stage, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true. And it's also like this is like that take. What did we just talk about? That was this. Oh, this was on probably on Where There's Woke. Bill Maher's take of like, here's what we need to do, everybody. You know how the right is constantly making a big deal about all the shouting kids on the left? Just get rid of the shouting kids on the left, and then it'll be fine. It's like, no, they'll find a shouting kid on the left. That's what they do. There isn't a real problem.
And never think about what those kids are saying again. Because
it's like, hey, if we give the fascists the fake thing that they're using as an excuse for their fascism, then they'll stop the fascism.
Then it'll all be gone.
They'll just find another thing to excuse the fascism.
Yeah.
That's the part where he really lost it there. But I am going to defend his honor.
Oh, God.
No, there's a lot wrong in this. But for one, I would invite everyone to go back and look what they actually, if they have any record of how they actually viewed Trump in 2015, I would encourage them to check that out before pointing the finger too much.
Yeah.
And I just say that as somebody who was very wrong about Trump in 2015. I was not like I was a supporter, but I just thought he was so bad that I didn't think enough people would support. I guess I wasn't wrong about Trump. I was wrong about the voters. I was wrong about Republicans. I thought there was enough of them. And like, again, the way the primary system worked, like there's a lot of shitty stuff that went into, a lot of weird stuff that went into his victory. But also I was wrong about the level of fascism in the Republican Party. It's more than I thought. Matt, the typing is killing me. Can't do it.
Sorry.
I got to mute if you're going to type. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
What is it? Give us the results of your typewriter.
I just want to be sure that this was after the Access Hollywood tape, which is when I thought that Trump was actually possibly going to go down.
Wow.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was October 26th. I'm sorry, it was way before.
No,
My fault.
Way
So sorry.
before.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
Way
way
before.
about that.
I'm just bad at
That was
years.
closer to the actual election.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when it, But
No,
as it is, though, in
December
this
3rd, 2015 is, I mean, it's pretty early.
But there'd been months of rallies. Just to be fair, there'd been months and months of rallies, and you can still read Jamal Bowie, who's completely correct, whether that was an accident or not.
Well, here's what's interesting. Here's another pivot, though, is that I actually don't. I was expecting this to be more Donald Trump isn't a fascist, but it's actually not. If you read it, the article, and this is the other thing where they don't choose the headlines always. The article, and look at the end. It's like the best way to stop a proto-fascist. So he's calling him a proto-fascist. He's saying, but the thing he's wrong about is don't call him a fascist. That won't work. Just make sure that he's not right about his fascism. That's bullshit. But like in the end, though, he calls him a proto-fascist. Like he actually is give more credit to the amount that he recognized Trump's a fascist than I would have thought based on where we were going with the beginning of this.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I still think he should be embarrassed about this, but I think you're right that he got that part. But I mean, but I do think it does totally misunderstand fascism, the history of fascism, how you stop fascism.
Yeah, for sure.
He's saying all of this is like, well, we can just ignore this and it'll go away. That's really what he's saying. Like people aren't going to go for this because it's, we can show them a better way. And
shoot, we are running out of time, so we got to take our last break and do a quick final thing. But we'll take our last break. This was fun. I'm glad we all agree that Douthat is just an all-around swell guy.
We found some nuance too. Nuance is good.
Douthat is the Republican that I wish more Republicans were. But he's just painfully irrelevant.
Dozens of them.
I'm sure. Exactly. I'm sure we will cover more of his stuff in the future, and maybe we will feel differently in those cases.
Oh no! I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying I wish that he was like the average Republican.
Oh yeah.
He's just not like
or that he was
a hyper-educated a version of Republicans that the New York Times tried to like find so that they could have somebody who doesn't just write in
diversity.
crayon. They're like, well, we got to have a Republican, and because this is back when they first did that around 2000. He came on like 2010 at the New York Times.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. So he wasn't the like Brett Stevens iteration of, so like that first iteration was, okay, well, we got to have more right-leaning people. They used to have Charles Krauthammer before he died. I think he wrote somewhat for them, or maybe, no, he was at a different paper. Never mind. But they would have people who were, but they're like, we need more right-wing voices. And he's like an intellectualized right-wing voice that just doesn't actually represent anyone in the right wing because they aren't intellectualized. It's just fascism noises. And then the later iteration was Brett Stevens and Barry Weiss, and that's even worse. And now I don't even know what the fuck we're doing.
I'm holding it a very
special. And I wish he was more relevant, but he's not.
And I wish you were right in this column, but he wasn't. But also, I just want to point out, I am holding on to one for January 6th, which is coming up soon enough. We got a very special Douthat for January 6th because he was really wrong on that.
Okay. Sorry, don't get me wrong. He's wrong on like everything.
Oh, no, sure.
But in a like naive way.
I appreciate your defense, though. It's good to actually talk it out and to see that, even dumbest pieces.
I was actually surprised by, again, the end. He calls him a proto-fascist. So, I think he's just doing this fucking Bill Maher thing today of like, you just have to make sure he doesn't have a point about the Mexicans being rapists. Like, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the solution. All right, final break here. And then we'll get to our last thing. Okay, what are we talking about?
Well, so hop in the time machine. We left 2015 and now we're back to like very, very recently, like yesterday. I'm sure you guys saw all over the news. I want to talk about just very, very briefly, not a fascist Trump, Mr. Not a Fascist Trump, demolishing the White House and how that's happening.
A little on the nose.
Yeah. And so I just sent over a video so we could kind of visually see what's been happening.
This is the douche. That's the later douche that we need. We need better terminology. We'll figure it out. Hey, here's Trump dismantling the White House. Okay.
Yeah.
Can they just do that?
No. There is supposed to be a whole process to it. I follow. It's like the Park Service Rangers, like the alternative. I can't remember exactly what the name of their group is, but I follow them on Facebook, and they posted an entire thing about what the process is supposed to be if you are making any changes to the White House, because it's affiliated with the parks, right? It's affiliated with like
it's somewhat historic.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely historic, and they say like they're. it's always been expected that people follow the process as laid out here. There are some ways to kind of get around it, but Trump, as every single time, just finds the ways to get around it and has decided to just decimate the East Wing, which is generally the First Lady's area of the White House, because because he wants a ballroom.
Hopefully he told Warren Melania first.
She's not moving in there. Yeah,
she hasn't been there in months. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. She's not using it, so he's going to turn it into a ballroom.
He's like, no, why would you need this part of the White House?
Yeah.
Why would anyone even have it?
Yeah, but it's, he explicitly has said, it's going to cost $200 whatever million, but it's not going to be any taxpayer dollars. I'm funding it. I have these private donors funding it, et cetera.
Which is much better, obviously.
DOJ.
Yeah, but he also promised nothing would happen to the White House. Like nothing was going to be altered in any way. It is being ripped apart. This is crazy.
This is a horror movie.
Absolutely insane. Yeah. With the American flag in the background too. Like the visual there is just incredible to me. Hillary Clinton.
I can't imagine if I actually cared about that. Like I grant everything you're saying, but I don't. I mean, I think all of American history is built on bad stuff. So I don't have like the same romantic vision of every component of a building built by slaves, right?
Yeah,
I think
that's fair. But I think the element to think about here is like, this is not his house.
Yeah.
This is not his.
For sure.
Like he is renting it essentially, right? Without having to pay. But Hillary Clinton had a really good, remark when she shared this yesterday, where she said, like, this is what he's doing to the people's house, your house. It's not his, it's yours. And he is destroying it.
This is a visual metaphor for everything that he's doing. I mean, this is just with the flag in the background, just completely tearing things apart. Like
exactly
wanton, mindless destruction brought to you by Project 2025, the complete failure that never worked out.
And then someone had pointed out with a foreign construction company, like Volvo being used to do this. It's not even American.
They make all the good stuff.
No. I just misspoke in saying construction company, but like their product, it's, not even American. So very dark. Nobody wants this freaking thing. And here we are. We don't get
privately funded
to pick. Yeah.
Privately funded. I mean, the idea that it's fine because
worse.
I'm raising, it's much worse. Like I'm corruptly raising money so people will pay me off so I can build my fancy ballroom.
And then attend whatever events I have there that are going to, just better my finances and influence my bottom line.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
That's a proto-fascist for you. It's an actual fascist for you. If only we had stopped doing the things that made the fascists right. That was our problem, Ross Douthat.
Yeah.
Darn. Calling them fascists. We shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, we shouldn't have called them fascists. I mean, I agree that didn't really do
mistake.
anything. I don't think it was bad, but it also doesn't really
Just call them weird.
do anything.
Call them weird. We're going to stick with that.
We can call them fascist. But it's also like, it's another false premise to where like, that's not... You also should just call things what they are. Like if you're looking at everything as a way to stop someone... Like sometimes we're just saying he's a fascist because he's a fucking fascist. It's not that people are saying that is like, I know what I'll try. It'll be this. He's a fascist. Like maybe some of the politicians he's talking about, maybe that's the decision they're making. But also sometimes people are just looking at a fascist and saying, that's a fascist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Including historians were saying that. So maybe we should listen to them also.
Yeah. Well, and
Mel Bowie.
the video we didn't get to do last week for the No Kings rally was showing, folks from around the world. And one of the clips I wanted to play for you all was in Berlin, Germany, where they basically say Donald Trump is a fascist.
Yeah.
And I am against Donald Trump and fascism. So if that makes me anti-fascist and Antifa, then that's what I am. Just this ridiculous thing. But like in Berlin, they're saying, this guy is a fascist. This guy is a
what would they know?
Yeah.
Whatever. Listen to the Germans.
Those naive people over there don't know real fascism. All right. Well, another fun episode of Opening Arguments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks most of all to the patrons. Patreon.com/law for making the show happen. Have a spooky and safe Halloween out there.
And then they'll come back to life.
Yeah.
After this, like zombies.
The Politico pieces from August 24 can't hurt you. No, they actually can't, though. Never mind. See you next time.
See ya.
Later.